Any logical fallacies? Anything that you see like that here like that? Okay. And yeah, I'll take some notes as well. So we've got 2 minutes each to present our arguments, and then 2 minutes to argue, and then 1 minute to summarize. So it's quite a lot, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Let me get so I can take some notes as well. Uh, okay, so Owen, and you are pro cultural relativism. Okay, so are you ready? Do you feel ready? Yeah, sure, take your time. Okay. No, the discussion's not graded, but you use the discussion as a basis for the report that you have to write. And there's a template for that report on Moodle. It tells you exactly what to put in each section. But if you haven't done the discussion, you're not able to write the report because it's not an essay. It's actually a report of how you prepare for the discussion, what arguments you use, what arguments did I use, how did you respond, all of those things. So you have to do this in order to write the report. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to do that. Oh, I've gone to 6 minutes now. Sorry, I said 2 minutes. Hang on a sec. Oh, okay, 2 minutes. All right. So, you ready? It's start. Okay, go ahead then. Oh, okay, so that's the 2 minutes. So that was good. So just give me a minute, and so I will then present my arguments. I'm not going to argue against you. I'm just going to present my arguments, and then we'll have some chance to sort of argue against each other. But quite difficult, right? It is. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to time myself. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you for the arguments you put forward, and you do make some very strong points. However, if we consider that there's no absolute and that everything depends on the context, on the country's religion, their values, then we can have to accept many things that maybe are wrong. For example, honor killings. In some societies, if a girl has a boyfriend and the family disagree, they might actually kill the girl for going against that family, that the culture there. So don't we need to, or child marriage, is it appropriate for girls as young as 12 to get married? And we say, well, that's part of their culture. Or does that go against a universal sense of what's right or wrong? And you said that there is change, that there's change in, oh, I shouldn't argue against you, sorry. But if we allow what is right and wrong to be determined by individual cultures, it's harder for change to happen. I think that allows societies to resist change because they can just say, so if they're, for example, the UN, as you mentioned, women's rights, the UN says that women should be allowed to have secondary education, occupy leadership positions, but then a country responds by saying, oh, in our culture, women's place is in the home, and so you shouldn't be telling us what we should do. Yeah, and I think the Declaration of Human Rights is supposed to apply to everybody. It's a universal Declaration of Human Rights. It's not, when they created that in the 1940s after World War II, it wasn't to say this is the rights of only people who live in Western countries, but the right in the global South and it's the rights of everybody. And sometimes moral relativism can be used to justify oppression. So we can oppress people because we say, this is our culture, therefore you should obey. So those are my arguments against cultural relativism. Yeah, so we've got a chance to rebut now. Um, so we've got 2 minutes to rebut, but do you need a few minutes to think about it? I'll give you a few minutes to think about how you want to rebut. Well, and me too, and I'll think about that as well. When you're ready, tell me. Need a bit more time? No, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not sure I'll have 2 minutes actually. Okay, well, let's see. So I'm going to put the timer on anyway, just so we see how we get on, okay? All right then. Thank you very much. Oh, you're nearly 2 seconds, nearly 2 minutes actually. Good. All right, so I'm going to try to rebut you now. I'll just let this timer finish. Okay, right. Can we give just a minute to gather my thoughts? Um, okay, thank you very much. Presented a strong rebuttal. However, I still think there is space for universal values. Your point about our values being based on Judeo-Christian principles is true, but I think um, some things should be universal. They should go beyond Christianity to apply to everybody. For example, slavery is enslaving somebody should be against everybody's moral code, I think. And I believe that some of the differences in morals have arisen from, as you said yourself, from the context that people are in. For example, in the Inuit people in the Arctic Circle, where resources are very limited, if when someone's very old, they can be left out to die because there are not enough resources to sustain everybody in that population. You can't keep old people alive forever. However, with changes in society where those communities have access to sufficient resources, they don't need to carry on with that principle of letting old people die just by saying, well, that's our culture, that's our moral code. I don't think when things change, we can't keep referring back to the situation that allowed it to happen in the first place. And you talked about religion and religion. So religion can define what is right and wrong, but very often religion is dominated by males. And so they may be prescribing dress for women, but have a women actually had a say in how they want to dress, or is this a male dominated moral regimen or cultures being imposed by males rather than by all genders? So I think we do need to strive for some form of universal values. That's my rebuttal. Quite difficult, isn't it? That's uh, so we've kind of really done it really, but we've got a minute to just sort of, so I think Churchill, so when you have a point, you've got to say it once, hit it harder, and then finally hit it really hard for people to really accept our argument. So you've got a chance to hit your argument hard. Yes, hit your point hard now. So would you want to go ahead? Yeah, sort of to summarizing, that's right. Which we've kind of done a bit in our rebuttal, really, haven't we, in some ways? Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. You finished. 1 minute was really fast. That was quick. No, that was very fast. Okay, so I'm going to summarize now. Yeah, yes, you've made some really valuable points in this discussion, and I think it's not a really black and white. There's grey. However, I'd like to finish by using that example of, as a not very pleasant, but female genital mutilation, FGM. Have you heard? You remember heard about that? Which is justified in terms of culture. This is acceptable in our culture. And if we go back to China, yeah, actually, we go back to China when foot binding was used. So a woman was not considered marriageable if she had big feet, because big feet suggested you worked in the fields, you were a peasant. And so that was accepted because you were trying to do good by your daughter by helping her to get married. However, Chinese society has moved on and that's no longer acceptable. And I think the FGM, I think we have to say this is wrong. whatever your culture, we can't accept that. And I know that that's problems in this country where people come here and bring those values with them and then find themselves involved in legal procedures because so so to finish, I'd like to say that while some things might be relative, and we can accept differences in cultures, of course, in beliefs and values, there are some things that we can't afford to put a relative lens on. That's my final argument. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So do you feel if well done, Owen? You did very well. I've never met you before. I've never seen you, but it's nice to have had a discussion with you and good for me to do it. I realize it's not easy, right? But an interesting topic, interesting to one to think about. So, who is your lecturer for this module? Thursday for this critical thinking. Who is teaching you critical thinking? Okay. But so make sure to go look somehow now you're doing a post to this. So go to Moodle and have a look at the template for this report and so that you can see what you have to do and then make sure you think about your report. What did you say? What did I say? Did we use any evidence? We probably didn't mention any names, did we? So we might in your reflection, you might say that it would have been more powerful if we both of us had actually referred to academic research. We didn't actually. Um, it is. Yeah, no, you're right. Um, Assumptions, did we make assumptions? Was there any bias? Like maybe I'm biased against men, perhaps in my I don't know. Sure. Yeah, of course. Do that. But if you need any help writing a report, let me know. But well done for having done that, and I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, nice to meet you. Okay, take care. Bye.